As we move closer to the official launch of the S24 lineup, which actually will happen on 17th of January next year, we're also seeing a lot of leaks. But that doesn't mean we don't know anything about the S24 lineup at this point. We know quite a bit of things, and that also includes a full live hands-on photo of a titanium gold color Galaxy S24 Ultra. But if you look at these comparison photos, we can clearly see that the titanium gold Galaxy S24 Ultra is slightly more different than the current S23 Ultra, but also very similar to each other, like boxy design, the flat top and bottom, but we can see that the sides are even more flatter. And at the bottom, we can clearly see that there is a new grille design. The speaker grille design is totally new. It's a strip rather than small little holes that we have seen on the past two Ultra models. Plus, we can also see, it is a bit of a surprise, that the bottom of the S Pen is actually flat, unlike the other two models. Now, if you look at the side photos, we can't really say anything different about them. I'm like, this is the same kind of button placements, same kind of thing, maybe slightly more flatter, but that mostly because of the flat sides, more flatter sides, but that's probably it. At the top, there are two microphones instead of one on the S23 Ultra. Maybe in the audio capturing, it's going to be better or something like that, but that's probably it. What we know is that at the front though, the display is going to be a flat display, a totally flat display, unlike the past two Ultra models. But there is a slight catch. Now, compared to the S23 Ultra, the bezels are going to be really thin and symmetrical at the top and bottom as well, which is really great. But the bezels of the displays at the sides are going to be curved. So it's still a flat display, but it's still not a flat display, if that makes sense. But that's mostly because of design aesthetics, and it's not going to be a big deal even if you use a screen protector. So other than that, at the back, there is no difference. Like, they have the same kind of camera layout, which is really beautiful, but it's also kind of boring point because we have been seeing this thing for 3 years at this point. Next year, we're going to see a massive change, but that's for another video. But we are surely getting some changes in the camera department. I know that's not a new news for you, but still, let me tell it. It will have a 200 megapixel ISOCELL HP2SX 1/1.3 inch sensor with 0.6 micrometer size pixels. It's still not a 1 inch sensor, but that's for the S25 Ultra, I guess. The ultra wide angle camera is going to be same 12 megapixel Sony IMX564 sensor. There is going to be a 3x telephoto camera IMX754 Sony's cameras, and it's going to be a 10 megapixel unit yet again. But the 5x camera is going to be a totally different thing. It's a 48 megapixel ISOCELL GM-EU sensor, 1/2.25 inch sensor. It's a 5x camera, as I said. But then you might be thinking, well, but where is the 10x camera? Well, this is the sensor that will also use the sensortropic feature to create lossless 12.5 megapixel native 10x photo. And that means it's way better than the current setup, even though on paper it doesn't look like that. And this is the same technology will also be used inside the main camera to take 2x and 4x lossless zoom photos and videos. That too simultaneously with a normal wide perspective, which is again a very cool thing of the HP2SX sensor. But the same thing can't be said about the S24 and S24 Plus though. They're still gonna stuck with the same camera setup as the current models. But that's gonna change in the next year, we are hearing. Anyway, that doesn't mean that the whole lineup doesn't even have any other changes in the display department or in the processor department. Well, there is a massive change coming to the processor, where all of the models will be powered by Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy chipset, unlike the other markets where the S24 and S24 Plus will be powered by Exynos 2400. Now, we recently saw a S24 Plus with 8GB of RAM. Yes, there is an 8GB of RAM variant apparently, and it has scored on Geekbench with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy chipset 1,902 points in the single core, 3,439 in the multi-core test. You might be thinking, well, that's disappointing in the multi-core department. Well, actually, maybe it's a prototype device, so maybe something's about that. But the S24 Ultra, which also appeared over there with a 12GB of RAM variant, scored 2,117 points in the single core test and in 6,720 points in the multi-core test. That's a big jump even over the S23 Ultra. But in terms of performance, now that doesn't mean everyone needs that kind of performance every single day, but it's there in case they need it for the future, let's say. But it is still amazing to see phones are getting this powerful. Now we can also see the core cluster is totally different this time. There is one prime core running at 3.3 GHz, there are 3 performance cores running at 3.15 GHz, and then there are going to be another 2 performance cores running at 2.96 GHz, slightly lower clock speeds. and the two efficiency cores running at 2.27 GHz. Now, another leak also says that the Galaxy S24 will start with 8GB of RAM. I don't know why that is the case. Also 128GB storage, but it will also have a 512GB option, maybe depending on the countries. But the Ultra will start at 256, 512, and then they're going to be at 1TB storage. The cheaper model will also come with the Wi-Fi 6E than 7 on the both other Plus and the Ultra models. Also, the ultra-wideband chip is exclusive to the Ultra. I don't know why that is the case, but that's the thing. It will still come with a 5000 mAh battery, 4900, a big jump over the last year's model for the S24 Plus, and 4000 mAh for the S24. For a tiny little phone, that's going to be great. Now, all of them will come with black, gray, violet, and yellow color options. But they will be called different, like the Ultra model will come with titanium black, titanium gray, titanium violet, and titanium yellow. And you can see the color options. These are the official looking renders published by Windows Report. So yeah, that's probably it. And they all look good though. Isn't it? The purple color is the violet color is going to be really one interesting one. But also the titanium gray one. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about these devices now, knowing all these things? And yes, if you feel like you need some really cool wallpapers for your devices, whether it's a tablet or a smartphone or even a laptop, well, I have some crazy cool 8K wallpapers, stunning designs, and amazing colors. Visit my website, joindavid.com, link down below. And until the next one, bye and take care.